Welcome back, everybody. The last video I did was about the Weiss Schwarz news. Now this time I'm going to be talking about Weiss Schwarz pricing, and what I'm going to be looking at is the Japanese reprints. I'm going to be taking a look at Chainsaw Man Trial Deck, D4DJ Booster Box, Sword Art Online on the English side, 10th anniversary anime, and lastly, Bang Dream 5th anniversary. That is a whole lot of stuff. I wish they would stop putting multiple products out all on the same day, because this really stinks for me and for you and all of our wallets. First up is JP reprints. What we got is Disney 100, Pixar characters, Sword Art Online 10th anniversary, Hololive number 1 and number 2. Check out the dates on here. First up is April 24th. That will be Disney 100 and Pixar characters. Much needed on both of them, because you can see here Disney 100 out on the eBay. $147 was with shipping on this one. Down below from the UK, $185.59. That seems really insane. And down below that one is $139. As always, as I mentioned, please stick to a budget. If you really wanted these bad enough, feel free. The wave that is coming, the reprint that's coming out, most of that's already been sold out. If not, they're going to be going for some jacked up price. If I were Bushiroad, I'd be holding down the print button on this sucker until my finger just eventually had no feeling left in it. That's how much I would reprint of this sucker. So maybe you just wait out for that. And if you don't want to pay those prices, you don't want to wait that long, you know what? You don't have that much longer until Disney Lorcana comes out on the English side. Again, that is a totally different game from Weiss Schwarz, but it is in English, so you actually can read it and play with it. That'll be very exciting when that actually comes out. Pixar was one of those ones I feel like people forgot. As you could see here, right here on eBay, someone actually paid $153 for a Pixar booster box. So this again is much needed. I say forgot about, because you know, this hype with Disney 100, but then you see this Pixar booster box, pretty expensive as well. It's on par with that Disney 100. So pretty decent pickups, right? If you bought into Disney 100, if you bought Pixar, if you bought some trial decks, those are all really nice to actually have. Now with Hololive, Hololive is really hard to find on eBay. I will the Japanese version. I will tell you, you can go to other websites, right? It makes sense that why would you be buying this on US eBay when these are the Japanese versions? But you can see here, Japanese Hololive 2 booster box, $94.99. Right down below that one is version number 1, volume 1. So $87.99 plus $10 shipping. So $98. Was a reprint of this needed? Apparently it was, because these things are still really expensive. And we know Hololive was printed a lot, to death, reprinted all over the place. But you know what? It still continues to be strong. It made sense that they would reprint number 1 because of the big hype that happened with number 2. Some people didn't know volume 1 even existed, so reprinting that made a whole lot of sense. And lastly, Sword Art Online light novel. If you didn't see my video of it with all the different cards on it, people are looking for that Asuna. I can't wait to get this reprint myself to just have it. It's really going to be cool. It'll be nice to open some of that. So right here, you can see on eBay, there was 26 bids on this one, $87 with $12.55 shipping. I wonder if this really meant, it says Booster 2020. I'm not trying to imply anything. I didn't click anything in there, but was this, let's say, an original, or really just saying that this was printed, the original set came out in 2020? I don't know, but reprint is coming on April 26th, so I can't wait to get mine. It'll be really cool. Chainsaw Man Trial Deck. This one was very interesting because, again, we had SSPs inside of this. Let me zoom in just a tad more. There we go. We had 2 SSPs. People were hoping that you would get both of them inside a single trial deck case. That was not to be. You only got one, is what I always thought it would be, and that's what came true. Here are your different SSPs as mentioned on my last video. Here are the pricing. Power, of course, was always going to be the most expensive one. Excuse my mouse. Here we go. Let me just hit refresh. There we are, sold out. If you saw that was actually there, I left my computer on last night. I had all this up. I was gonna make a video. You know, I was too tired. I just wanted to go to bed, so I didn't actually record the video, which is really neat because if I hit refresh, I see a whole bunch of different numbers appear. So we had Denji and Power being sold out. But again, what I asked you to think about is, was this trial deck case actually worth it? Because right here, even though this is sold out, right, it's going to be more than 79,800 yen. You can do your conversion on that, and you can do your conversion on Denji. If you buy a trial deck case and you hit Denji instead of Power, what do you think you're going to be able to get out of this trial deck case? Same thing with Power. Even though Power is your big one on here, it's going to be pretty expensive. What do you think that trial deck case is worth with Power? Are people going to risk it? And that in lies the opportunity. How many people are going to risk it to get the Power? Or maybe you just buy a trial deck or a display, right? You want to do the gambling thing, but will people actually dip their toes in this time around and try for these signature cards? Well, at least for the Power, right? I don't think anybody's really aiming for the Denji. I want the Denji. But at the same time, am I willing to buy a case for that, knowing that it's not going to be anywhere near worth it for a whole trial deck case? That's what you got to ask yourself, including the fact that if you add in the OFRs, which is clocking in at 6980 and 3480, this Pochita looks really cool. I definitely want to get this one when it comes out to English. That's going to be the one I'm going to be looking for. And then let me zoom out one here. So your triple rares, are there anything here? You got Power 780, Makima 980. That's really nice. So you yourself can do the EV on this sucker. Your Power 420. And that was it. Is it worth it to you? Are you going to gamble? Let me know down below. I want to see how many of you are still going to buy a trial deck case. Like, let's say you were going to buy one and now you changed your mind, or now you were going to buy one and you still are going to keep one. So it's a huge game of chicken. I always like seeing when this happens to see how many people got the guts to do it. Again, fortune favors the bold, and this one is definitely one of those cases. Booster box of D4DJ also came out on Friday. They had a try release, 2 in Japan and 1 on the English side. D4DJ, one of my loves of life right here. We have 120 normals and 120 parallels. So let me zoom in here for you. SSPs, there were 6. They were voice actress signatures. You had 24 SPs, and those were sadly character signatures. It was really sad. 13 triple rares, 77 SRs. I really do hate these kind of sets that have all those multiple versions, but in this case, just because I wanted to buy singles, I was happy that I was just able to pick them off. Because the bad part, again, if you have not heard me just be upset about the amount of parallel, when you have multiple parallels, in this case over the normal amount, so let's say over 40, over 50, that's when you start seeing a lot of price destruction. Your booster box price goes down by a lot just because there are a lot of cards that aren't worth it, that drags the prices down. This set also had 12 double rares. If that wasn't enough to have 120 parallel cards, you also have 12 double rares. So pricing of D4DJ, let me just hit refresh here. I think I already did hit refresh. But out here, your biggest card, oh no, I didn't, because stuff just disappeared. We had Saki, 59,800. By the way, if anybody wants a Saki, I did not go out there and check again, but I know Audrey pulled one, has one up on Facebook Global. If you would like to purchase one, feel free to check out Audrey's posts on the global side. So you can see a lot of, I was actually really surprised because I thought, We got Rika over here. I thought she was very popular. That would make the SSP actually more expensive. It was one SSP per booster box case and 4 SP. So, think about that one. You have one SSP in a case, and this one turned out to be 99.80 yen. That is pretty insane when you really think about it. She was your lowest of the six that we have here. It's pretty nutty. We have SPs, and as mentioned before, you get four. But again, if you take a look at the actual pricing on here, outside of that Marika at 24,800, some of these are really low, as in super low. We got 39.80. There's a lot of 39s, 49s, 59s. It's just really bad. So just imagine your day if you actually pulled a Rika, unless you really love Rika, and then no, actually, I think you'd be upset if you pull Rika. Just because if you could pull a Saki, then you could go back and buy like four Rikas. That would be the actual play, right? 4 or 5 Rikas, depending on exchange rates and all that good stuff. But I don't think you really wanted to pull a Rika. And then you look at all these. So if you imagine pulling a Rika and some of these 39s, 49 SPs, you'd be really upset about that. So not so nice, not so nice. I look at this and I'm like, look at this Saki, 34,800. So if you manage to pull a Saki, that sounded weird. Sorry, I'm sorry. I know we had this one down here for 39,800, but let's just shoot for double Saki here. We get 34,800 and another 59,800. That's your case right there, all done and paid for. I mean, you could add in the SRs and all the other stuff, but still, that's pretty nice. Uh, that's the bad part. See, so again, going back here, if you take a look at some of these, and some of these triple rares are from the trial deck, so I'm trying to make sure that I don't mix them all together. But here are your booster box ones all across this top row and through the middle of the next row. They are not expensive either, so that's not good. And then you have your million of SRs right here, and they're like for basically 320, 220. So again, you have a lot of price destruction, even though they're lovely cards, and I want a lot of them for myself. Just know that these big sets definitely are more painful, and I feel like these sets, you should, me personally, my thoughts is you should really target and buy singles. If you really want to buy some singles, save yourself the time and effort, open some if you want to. Hopefully you can get the Saki or the other Saki or whatever else you want, but that seems like the major play there. With the double rares, there were some really, I know I'm flashing through this real quick, but that was my point to this. SRs are going to be really low. SSP is going to be somewhat low to high. SPs with just character signatures were decently low. And you can see here, double rares, again, Japanese always impresses me. The Japanese side of Weiss Schwarz with, just like some really big expensive double rares like this Marika right there, 1480. I know it sees usage, but at the same time, like when we have a really popular set in the English side, like how fast those double rare prices actually drop down. And then if you look at the Japanese side, you'll see a lot of the sets have one or two really expensive double rares, and it seems to hold that way. It's either that or they all hold the line when it comes to pricing. They're just like, all right, we're just leaving it here, and someone's gonna buy it eventually. Who knows? First, going second cards, I do love them. They're really cool looking, and you could see here, D4DJ, definitely not an exception to that. You could see these cards. We got our 3 girls on here, and the second one would be your other 3 girls. Definitely really cool looking, and at 500 yen, not too bad. I really do like them. I enjoy them a lot. I wish we could get them in English side. I think that would be really cool if they did jam that in there as like, a nice box topper. That'd be nice to go along with the playmats. I don't want to get rid of the playmats, but at the same time, it'd be cool to get the going first, going second. Now, Sword Art Online 10th Anniversary English side. What I want to say about this one is, again, we got signatures back here. You could see it. Not on this page apparently, but you could see it somewhere here. Here you go. Here are signatures. They made a glorious return. I know some people were hoping that that ended the Aniplex curse. It did not. Just so you know, it did not, because next thing to come out on May 5th is Saikano, How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend Flat. I watched all the anime, but I don't remember this whole thing about the naming convention, like flat, just don't remember why. So with this set, there are no signatures. There are serial numbers. So there you go. Just keep in mind that the whole Aniplex thing is a still ongoing thing. They're just able to, I guess, somehow pay to get the signatures back. So moving back to Sword Art Online, just to show you something interesting. You can see here this set was going to be popular. I know it was basically sold out. Then magically there was a restock from distributors. I would imagine that they had purchased extra and then released more for other people to pick up again, or maybe some people didn't want to take their order. But no matter what the case, in the end, there was enough to go around. I wasn't really worried about it at all. I even think there may be nothing confirmed yet, but you can see right here 17 listings of booster box 6449 and 17 listings of cases. And the reason why I show you that is the listings always matter to me, like how much are actually showing, because that shows you how many sellers are participating in this actual product. Remember, this came out just today. Today is actually, when I'm recording this, is April 21st. You might not see this until Sunday the 23rd, but recorded today, April 21st, the day of release. So compare that to Bang Dream that has been out for about 2 weeks now, right? Like you have Booster Box, 8 listings. We have Cases, 2 listings and not even sold. So these 2 listings have been there. They've been there this whole time. And you can pretty much show the difference between these 2 sets, okay? So SPs, the biggest one was always going to be this Asuna. It's definitely used as part of the meta deck. You also have Lifa down here. It was actually weird to me because when I saw the Lifa come up, people had this like under $300, and I'm like, that seems pretty low to me. And I was correct in that because someone started buying all these. Maybe it's all one person buy a whole play set of these things, but in the end, what we got left is 473 and 500. Remember, this is the first day, so more should be appearing. This set should totally be opened. One of the things, I'm going to just skip right to it, was play sets. So double rare and below play sets. I remember play sets back in my day, like when I first started in this roughly 2 years ago. It's pretty crazy because I've been doing this about 2 years now. And what I remember were play sets like in the 300s, 350, then 300, and now we're went to 275 down to 200, got the low as 150. I got my Quince play set for 80 something dollars, $85 I think, which was amazing. I was so happy. It was my Quince 2 set. So people are trying to sell this thing for $250, and I'm like, that seems too high to me, right? Why would you be buying this place at 250? The new rules, if anybody has not been paying attention on all this, is if a set is really popular, then the play set should be low. So what does the set got going for it? It got a good strong IP. It has many waifus, including Asuna, and lastly, it is part of a, let's say, a meta kind of play deck. It got a really nice deck. Some people say this is top tier. Some people say it'll be one down, A tier. But no matter what, in the end, people have a use for these cards, and people want to collect these cards. And there are a lot of people that are getting it. So what we saw with Bang Dream, right? Like what I just showed you with the sealed, and what you see here with the double rares. Look at this. Double rares, 5 listings. Take a look. One day, Asuna, there's 19. Lifa, 18. You got Argo the Rat, 23 listings. Bang Dream, 5. 12, 8. So what does that tell you? Bang Dream was really hard. There wasn't a lot of people, and the playset. If someone were to build a playset, and if there was somebody else that actually wanted to buy it, I would imagine should be more than $250. I already did the math on it, and definitely these playsets are worth more than that. But Sword Art Online, with all those things going for it, do you really think it's going to be $250? It's only going to be a matter of time before these prices get whittled down with everybody opening it, right? When you have people asking to buy Bang Dream or Seven Deadly Sins or Kaguya playsets because people weren't selling them, this time around, if you take a look at Facebook, what do you see? You see people that are looking to sell playsets. People are not writing, I or maybe there are, but maybe one or two, but they get scooped up right away. That says, I need a playset of Sword Art Online 10th anniversary anime. How many of those do you see? And that is the difference this time around. So if you have a bunch of sellers posting out there, they're selling it for 250. Does that mean this thing is worth 250? And that's what I want you to think about again. So when you think about playsets now, you really need to consider all the different things. That's my whole purpose of buy and invest. It applies always to that. Now, going back here, so I went on a totally different tangent, but really what I wanted to show you right here out on Yuyute, you can see all the big cards. Again, your Asuna was going to be the big one, and it continues to be the big one. And then you have Alifa and Yuki down here. So those were represented pretty well. Let me go back. Actually, I didn't even really take a look at Yuki. Where's my Yuki? Oh, I clicked on Lifa. My bad, my bad. Where's my Yuki? $269.99. So I always do find it really fun to compare how the Japanese side is pricing goes versus what is seen on the English side. These things are definitely coming down. You think these prices are it? I mean, nope. Depending, like you could say the Asuna maybe will hold, Lifa will drop maybe a little bit because to go from 300 to 473, that seems like quite a bit. Some people are definitely going to be undercutting it when they look at the price sold, but it's always cool to see. So here's your SECs. I believe I saw someone say the case rates are 3 SPs or 1 SEC, 2 SPs. Correct me if I'm wrong, just write it down below. But this is what we got. No sales yet. No sales on these secret rares. They're not as exciting as what we have here with the regular SPs. So anyways, the pricing bout holds. I can see why people aren't buying some of these. So obviously the one with Kirito and Yu-Gi-Oh are a little bit lower. Again, meta usage and all that good stuff if you compare the SEC and SP and the art and all that good stuff. But really always cool for me just to see like a pattern of like these equaling out to each other. It's really nice. It fulfills my what do I say? I'm just gonna skip that. I don't know. I was gonna say. It makes my brain happy to just see patterns just hold true, right? Everything just magically map out to the way I think it should. Let me hit refresh on this. Let me hit refresh on this. I love when I go this long because I can just say whatever I want because some people are already gone. Okay, so SR is really expensive again. If anybody didn't know, you're going to be looking towards a deck with Alice's in it. You're going to have some Asunas. You're going to have some Lifas. That is your deck you're going to be seeing against until we see Quint's movie come up with let's see, our Itsuki and all that good stuff. So right now, Alice is in style. You got some Asunas and you got some really nice cards here. I will tell you, I am waiting for some of these card prices to come down because I will be purchasing some myself. I do like these. I can't wait to see just all these booster boxes of 10th anime, and then I get light novel as well, just to have both of them and just open them at the same. I'm gonna open both of them at the same time. This is gonna be a really cool experience for me. But these SRs look really nice. I really wonder what this one's going to come out to be. You got Asuna here, just in the shower. Asuna on the bed with some, I guess, with her nightgown. Nightgown. I'm gonna go with nightgown, and then you have some pictures here. So my one that I'm gonna be getting is definitely this one, the real songstress Yuna in SR form. That looks so nice. Really do love Yuna, so gonna pick that up. And the triple rare with Asuna right here. So we got Yuna, Asuna right there. I can't wait to get that one as well. So some nice ones. You can see these are pretty expensive, but coming down. You can see that all coming down. I always, I seriously always wonder why people buy on the first day, right? I'm not making fun or anything like that. There are some cards that are put up that are really cheap. Like if you sit here throughout the day, you'll be able to see some and pick some up. But a lot of the times they just keep on going down. Like check this out, this Leafa. I know I should this talked about double rares earlier, but this is what I'm saying. Still don't understand it, right? You have people purchasing this at $19, a whole playset. Four of these for $19. So that's near, let's just round up to $80. That's pretty crazy when you think about it, right? Because the people are still selling play sets at $250. So 80 minus 250, $170. Since I rounded, that makes it $154 left over. But I could see you like price it out between all these other cards. I don't know. Maybe you're a real Leafa fan, but you know, seeing that this just hurts me on a budget kind of level, right? You have this at $10, $11. It's just by waiting hours later, right? Because that was 421. Right now it is 10:56 p.m. So it's like if you would have just waited just a little bit, it wouldn't have been that expensive. I don't know. That's just me. But again, double rares playset, not 250. I wonder how low this is gonna go. Anybody any guesses? I feel like $200 is the magic number of the playset for SAO at this point. There's just so many people opening it, so many people looking to open it. I saw someone saying that they got they got a couple of playsets to sell, and then they'll have more next week, which means that they're going to continue to keep on opening, which is what's going to happen. And not everybody got their stuff yet, so this is, I can only imagine, keep on going down. So we'll see. Is there this huge demand of players that still don't have their play sets, or are people just going to open this into oblivion? And imagine if we actually see a reprint come down the pipe. That will be amazing to find out how low this actually goes. And just because of that, if you're looking for certain SRs, if you're looking for certain SCCs or SPs, just be on the lookout because they should be coming down a bit, especially if you like any of these characters. They should be coming down a little bit more. So anyways, I am out of here. I'm going to be doing my barbecue competition. I'm really excited to do that. So I'll be away on Saturday and Sunday. That's why I'm recording it now. So if the prices do change drastically, don't blame me because I'll be out there enjoying the world, as you should as well. So as always, have fun, be happy, and don't spend anything outside of your budget. Have a good one.